COMELEC mukhang matatanggal na sa susunod na eleksyon. Ito ang naging komento ng maraming netizens sa mundo ng social media matapos yung kumpirmahin mismo ni Senador Imee Marcos na nasa Senado na ang panukalang gamitin ng hybrid election system. Ito ay matapos nga tila di umunang madaya ang kanyang kapatid noong 2016 Vice Presidential race laban kay Vice President ROBREDO. Matatandang nag-viral sa mundo ng social media ang tila di umuni sa buwatan ng Liberal Party at ng COMELEC upang ipanalo si Vice President ROBREDO noong nagdaang eleksyon. Ngunit ang pandaraya tila di umuna na ito ay hindi na mauulit dahil ayon mismo kay Senador Imee Marcos ay malaki ang tsansa na mangyari o maganap ang hybrid election system sa darating na 2022 national election, kung saan marami sa ating mga kababayan ang naniniwala na si Bongbong Marcos ang susunod na presidente ng Republika ng Pilipinas. Narito ang full video kung saan ay kinumpirma mismo ni Imee Marcos na ang hybrid election system ang karapat-dapat na gamitin sa 2022 national election. Panoorin ang full video.
Voting, it has been said, is not only our right, but more importantly, it is our power. Or is it? As our Senate President most aptly explained when he filed this Senate bill, we must safeguard the voting power of a sovereign people, that it may never be diminished by the problems inherent to a fully automated election system. We submit today, in the spirit of that greatest of all democratic powers, Committee Report 151, sponsoring herewith the Substitute Bill 1950, entitled An Act Providing for the Conduct of Hybrid National, Local, and Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao elections through manual automated voting, counting, canvassing, consolidation, and transmission, amending for the purpose Republic Act 8436 as amended and for other purposes. Over 12 years ago, in August of 2008, with mixed excitement and trepidation, following a complex and controversial award to a foreign company, the Commission on Elections embarked on the first automated election in the Philippines in the ARMM. Like our public school teachers sitting as the Board of Election Inspectors, we were enthralled by the speed, the ease, the blinding efficiency of the PICOS machines, thoroughly convinced that in order to reduce election fraud, all we had to do was to remove human intervention. Yet over a decade later, after several automated elections, the question has arisen: have we surrendered our right to vote, that greatest of all powers, to the machine, the PICOS, the VCM, the servers, facilitated by software and incomprehensible algorithms in the quest for expediency and efficiency? In truth, we are not the first country to reconsider their automated voting system. Already, Singapore undertakes its first round of counting manually, only later the second round being done electronically after each machine undergoes rigorous and public pre-counting. Switzerland also combines both manual and electronic voting using an elaborate combination of high-tech and voter verification. Most notoriously, Germany, following the lead of other developed countries with advanced electronic capabilities, has simply given up and reverted right back to a manual system, as have Japan, New Zealand, Denmark, Finland, Ireland, Netherlands, Norway, Spain, and the UK. But in the Philippines, with over 100 million people, a huge fraction of whom are voters, with our geography as difficult as an archipelago, we should not give up on an automated election, but instead, in true Filipino fashion, hybridize it into our very own election system. Diskarteng Pinoy, malikhain at maparaan. Nakabuo ng GI Jeep na jeepney, ng butterfly sleeves na terno, mistisang beauty queen at atletang askal. Mulat sa pool, hybrid ang ating kinagisnan. Elections belong to the people, yet our current election system has been accused of lacking transparency. Very few voters can claim familiarity with the multifarious software and hardware utilized, much less the quagmire of servers mentioned. Article 2, Section 1 of our Constitution intones sovereignty resides in the people and all government authority emanates from them. Yet, to some Filipinos, political power has now been wrested by unknown and sinister machines. Sadly, every election is marred by charges of widespread fraud and cheating, perhaps deriving from deep doubts in the fundamental lack of transparency of public access and the scrutiny of records and procedures. Secondly, while Article 5, Section 2 of our Constitution mandates a system for securing the secrecy and sanctity of the ballot, many have faulted the absence of secure processes with each of its essential phases understood by the voters, with ascertainable results in each case and timeframes well established. Thirdly, we should create a system that is above all simple, not requiring any specialized knowledge of IT or even of election law, accessible to the ordinary one, certain and secure because it is understood clearly by all. A transparent, clear-cut process not requiring any specialist knowledge was envisioned by our Senate President when he filed Senate Bill number 7. And today, let us finally address the problems he identified arising from a fully automated election. Our bill today seeks to combine appropriate and tested technology in voting, counting, consolidating, canvassing, and transmission of election results with a parallel manual count of votes to confirm the electronic results. We want to enjoy the speed and facility of automated elections, but make certain that we back up this efficiency with the evidence of manual counting conducted publicly at the precinct level. First, the process begins with procurement, which, despite the persistent canard, remains entirely intact. The requisites of the National Procurement Law unchanged under Section 9. We reiterate that prospective system providers should still have to prove demonstrated capability and successfully undertaken a prior electoral exercise, here or abroad. We must, at all costs, avoid a failure of election caused by an incompetent or untested bidder. Still, in order to open procurement to as many prospective bidders as possible, our bill echoes the long-established DBM Government Procurement Policy Board rule that the requirement for a prior single largest completed contract may be foregone when a failure of bidding is imminent or monopolistic or novel requisites are observed. Thus, following these guidelines, we require in our bill simply the less onerous proof of financial, technical, and organizational capability to conduct such exercise. We pray that with this reminder, many will qualify, many more potential bidders to provide a new opportunity, especially for capable and talented Filipino systems providers in the IT sector. Proceeding to the ballots, which for auditability must be paper-based, we have introduced new features, including a barcode to be scanned, a square format requiring a single vertical line to register a vote, not unlike the very familiar lotto ticket. And for persons with disabilities and those unable to read or write, the COMELEC may prescribe an even simpler ballot to facilitate voting. And to avoid previous concerns about the printing of the ballots, only the National Printing Office and the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas may print the official ballots using its own printing machines under our new law. Thus, after voting is completed and the polls are closed, the Board of Election Inspectors shall proceed, as it has before, with the electronic counting and transmission of the digital election returns via VCM, or vote counting machine. Thereafter, the BEI will now set up the manual counting of the actual ballots, following the procedures established in previous manual elections using the ancient TARA system and one-month preparation of election returns. Such manual counting shall be in plain view of the precinct public, whether through electronic projection if available or through traditional written counting. Live streaming or video recording of the manual counting shall be allowed by the COMELEC to accredited groups such as NAMFREL, PPCRV, and other NGOs, at the same time prohibiting the exploitation of such footage through media in violation of the rights of the election inspectors. No doubt this new process will take longer, as proven by several practice run-throughs, and result